What if I told you privacy could unlock new markets and customers? Right now, privacy rules are redrawing global trade maps, deciding how you run ads, and even shaping who wins elections. If you're a marketer or business owner, these shifts will hit your bottom line. I'm Barbara, legal researcher from Usercentrics, and I will break down 3 stories you cannot ignore. This is your data privacy legal check. The European Commission has launched a process to adopt an adequacy decision with Brazil to allow for the data transfer of personal data between the regions. The Commission determined that Brazil ensures an adequate level of protection, comparable to that of the EU. If finalized, this would create one of the broadest adequacy arrangements under the GDPR, allowing free data flows between the EU and Brazil for businesses, public authorities, and research. Brazil is also preparing a reciprocal adequacy decision, which together could cover 670 million consumers. EU officials stress that this move strengthens digital trust, economic ties, and consumer protections. Before it becomes law, the draft decision will go to the European Data Protection Board, EU member states, and the European Parliament for review. If you work internationally, this could open huge new markets with fewer compliance rules. Think smoother data transfers, faster deals, and stronger digital trust. By the way, if you find this breakdown useful, hit like and subscribe. We cover these privacy shifts every month, so you won't miss how they impact your business. Meanwhile, in Luxembourg, the EU General Court dismissed a challenge against the EU-US data privacy framework. This means that, for now, US organizations that self-certify under the framework can legally receive EU personal data without relying on additional transfer tools. This case was originally brought by French politician Philippe Latombe in September 2023, who claimed that US surveillance practices and the lack of an independent tribunal made the framework incompatible with EU privacy standards. The General Court, however, dismissed the challenge, finding that the data privacy framework at the time of its challenge contained adequate safeguards and conditions to ensure independence. This is significant because previous EU-US transfer mechanisms, Safe Harbor and Privacy Shield, were both struck down in the famous Schrems I and Schrems II cases. The ruling offers businesses some stability, though appeals to the Court of Justice are still possible. Finally, the Council of the EU has adopted new rules on political advertising. The goal? Make sure voters know when they're seeing a political ad, who paid for it, and whether targeting techniques were used. Under the new regulation, political ads will need a transparent label and notice with details such as the sponsor, the election or referendum they relate to, the amounts paid, and any targeting techniques used. Online targeting will only be allowed with the data subject's explicit and separate consent, and special categories of personal data, like ethnicity or political opinions, cannot be used for profiling. To safeguard elections from foreign influence, political advertising services will be prohibited for sponsors from outside the EU during the 3 months leading up to an election or referendum. Most of these rules will start applying in autumn 2025. Even if you're not in politics, this signals where ad regulations are headed: transparency, consent, and data boundaries. Marketers who get ahead of this trend, building campaigns with trust first, will win long term. So what's the big picture? Privacy isn't slowing business, it's reshaping it. From new markets in Brazil, to stable transatlantic data flows, to stricter ad rules in Europe, the message is clear. Trust is the new growth engine. And if you want to know how privacy-led marketing can actually boost your results, don't be shy. Reach out or drop a comment below. We're here to help. See you in the next Legal Check. Bye!